up, party people? My name's Chris, I'm a bookaholic. Alright everybody, I'm going to talk about something that I've never really talked about on this channel, but I have a pretty nice collection of old books, and I'm very fascinated anyways with old books. If you've seen the journal video that I did, which I would like to say, yeah, I'll put it in the cards, but I actually haven't figured out how to do that yet, so you might have to search, it won't be long. But the video that I did on the journals that I really like, at one point I highlighted a journal that I had gotten from my wife for Christmas, which is this awesome leather-bound journal that is fits all of my perfect parameters for a journal. Like, it's homemade paper, and it's leather, and it's basically unlined, and it's just smells good. It's gorgeous. And right now I'm finishing another journal, and that'll probably be the one I dive into next. But the reason I like that is it just feels like it could come right out of The Lord of the Rings. It's something that Gandalf would have used, or Bilbo would have had in his collection. And I've always kind of gravitated towards the old books. They're beautiful. They tell a story. And oftentimes, the books that you find that are really, really old are in different languages. Specifically for the books that I've utilized a lot throughout my years, a lot of books in Latin. Now, for clarity's sake, I actually am not proficient in Latin, but just some of the books that are really old, you find have been ecclesial books, and they're put, in various monasteries and seminaries, convents, and utilized by them, and you can find a lot of gems there. And over the years, I've gone to some of these, monasteries and friaries and convents and found some of the most amazing books. Well, just recently I was in the Huntington area, New York, out on Long Island, and I was doing some work, and the work was going to be done at the once seminary that's in Huntington, and I know they still utilize the library there for diaconate training and things of that nature, and they have, though, a specific room that is old and rare books, and I was given the opportunity to go in there and do some pictures and filming, which you're going to be seeing in this video. In addition, some of that stuff was being sold, and I was able to find about 7 books that I really felt like, okay, I might actually really enjoy these if I were to read them, but also they look fantastic on the shelf. And I'm going to show you those in addition to some of the other pictures and videos that I took while I was there. So here's one of the books, and out of the 7, they are all in English. So again, I just really like the way that this looks. It's an old book. It's called A Brief Historical Sketch of the Catholic Church on Long Island, and by Patrick Mulrennan. This was put out in 1871, and the book is in really pretty good condition in terms of the binding, but it is certainly old, and there's definitely some wear, and you can see it's been probably, left out and soaked up some rainwater, or maybe coffee stains or whatever. But I really like this, and partly I liked it just because of the way that cover looked. It just was kind of beautiful. The other couple books that I got, one volume 1 and 2, so is right here. It's called Catholic Church and Christian State. I've never heard of these books, but they look fantastic. They look fantastic. So, Catholic Church and Christian State. Honestly, I don't know anything about this book, but it 1876. And I love that marbled inlay there. And this used to be the Reverend Chase E. McDonald. That's his book. So, as mentioned, this was the seminary there in Huntington, one seminary, and I was able to snag these. And then the last four are a series by Cardinal Newman, and it is volumes 1 through 4. They all look kind of the same here on the outside. They have this blue cloth bound hardcover, and the volumes are broken up right into specific topics. So, for example, an essay on the development of Christian doctrine. Now, that's a pretty famous treatment by Cardinal Newman, and this is published in 1909. Let's see if I can get this turned around here for you. The other volumes are the Via Media, or the Anglican Church. Excuse me. I don't know why This is actually the first volume. And then volume 2 is the same thing. It's the second volume of the Via Media, or the Via Media, or the Anglican Church. I mean, that's what it says right there. So, anyway, and then the last volume that I snagged was Meditations and Devotions. Meditations and Devotions. So, I mean, these are really put together quite well. The binding is still fantastic. I mean, I can't even see that they've been even opened or read, for that matter. So, I mean, it's possible. Out of the 4 here, the one that I would have assumed would have been a little bit worn would be the development of Christian doctrine, but not the case. So anyway, so here's what we got. So those are the ones that I picked up and was able to, purchase. And I put that in quotes because I haven't paid for them yet. So I will. And so the other videos that you're seeing, that you're going to be seeing here is the library there. And when you look, you can see works by Augustine and St. Thomas Aquinas. And there was even an old book by Mark Twain that was probably worth $1,500. So, there was some stuff that they knew that they had and that they were going to try to sell, I think, to offset some costs. But then there was a lot of things there that I think was a little bit less, noted. And just because it's old doesn't mean it's necessarily worth a lot. But these were ones that kind of appealed to me. And then the ones that were in the libraries, I mean, there's some there that I would have loved to have taken home with me for sure. One of these days I'll show you, kind of a completed picture of my personal library, especially the older books, and then you can kind of see the lay of the land here. But I'll give you a couple pictures of the personal library as well, and you can just sneak a peek at that. But anyway. I hope you enjoyed the video, and just if you have a special book that you love, that's an older book that you know, is something that you picked up maybe somewhere and you knew that it was really special, or maybe you picked it up because it just looked great to you and you thought it would look perfect on your shelf, maybe put a picture of that. I'd love to see it, or let me know. So anyway, check out all the info in the area with links to like Amazon, the wish list, or the Discord, or whatever else they can find to put there. So anyway, I love this stuff, and I hope you do too.